Hey everybody, welcome to day 7 of my 7 diapers in 7 days challenge. Let me try to get the camera adjusted for you here. What I'm doing here is cutting out the PUL. I like to put it as close as possible so that I conserve as much of the PUL as possible. Yesterday I did not participate in the challenge, so today I actually have to do 2 diapers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assembly line them. I will cut out enough for 2 diapers of everything, and then I will assemble them together, so all of the steps will be done for both diapers at the same time. So I'll put in twice as many snaps, and I'll put in twice as many pieces of elastic. I think it will go faster that way, but it's an experiment. We'll see. The reason I didn't participate yesterday was I actually made 10 diapers yesterday with my sister-in-law. We got her brand new stash jump started, and she now has 10 covers. She has 24, I believe she has about 24 liners. She went to go get flour sack towels today, so she's fully stocked. It took us about 12 to 13 hours to do 10 diapers. And that was with both of us working the whole day. These are not fast, really. So the hardest part of all of it is doing the snaps, and I really felt bad because she did 90% of those snaps, so I'm sure her hand hurts today. Alright, so I have 2 pieces cut out. There's one down here, and then there's one here. Not cut out, sorry. You know what I mean. It's not cut out yet. I need 4 pieces because I'm doing enough for 2 diapers, and each diaper takes 2 pieces. I'm going over this line. There's a fold in my table, so let's just move it. Putting it as close to the edge as I can. Let me trace around this real quick. That was easy. Now I have 3 pieces. So I'm going to move the fabric up just a little bit. See if I can get that other piece on there. And I'll cut them all out together. There we go. We got something over here. Space. That's a bummer. Sometimes they don't nest perfectly. I think if I put that there, though, the next one, put my fingers around it. Yeah, the next one can go up in there and fill that space. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. Yeah, I sent her home with 10 diapers, a lot of liners, a wet bag. It was the first wet bag I've ever made, so let's give her some time with it. Let her provide me with some feedback. I did French seams. We had a PUL on the inner, and it was shiny side facing in. And then we used a brand new cotton t-shirt for the outside, mostly because the PUL stretches. I have one wet bag that we used as an example. Believe it or not, it is my one and only wet bag, and it has some kind of pleather stuff on the inside, and the outside is just a cotton weave. The problem with it is that the pleather stuff didn't shrink, but the cotton weave did shrink, and so now it feels very tight. Like you can't even completely open the, I don't know, the pleather stuff stays wrinkled up within the cotton. Hard to describe, but anyway, I thought if we used the t-shirt material that it would stretch and never have to worry about it shrinking. Well, we'll see. So provide me with some feedback, and if it works out, I will show you guys how to make one. If not, I will make adjustments and solicit more feedback. I'm not going to show you guys how to make something that doesn't work, so let's hold off on that one, and I will get back to you on that. These I know work, so that's why we're making them. I am doing, by the way, these are the 7 diapers in 7 days. These are all the same pattern. They're all newborn diapers. And this is the Babyville pattern. You get it at Joann's in a book. Is that all 4 of them? That's all 4 of them. But as soon as I get them stacked up with a nice stash, I plan on doing all the diaper patterns. Every single one. I will buy every diaper pattern, and I will do tutorial videos on them. And we will teach you how to make each and every pattern. So let me cut these 4 out for you, and I'll be right back. Now that we have 4 of these cut out, I'm going to go ahead and do the shape. Now let me grab a finished diaper. This one was diaper number 5, this red one here. Now this is what we're going to be making. This is a newborn cover. It has 12 snaps on the front, 4 snaps on the flaps. This one just happens to be t-shirt material, t-shirt knit on the outside. On the inside, you open this up, and this is just the insert. The inside has PUL here for the wipeable part, and then this is also PUL. And the shiny sides are together. And so this part here, way up in there, that is like a little, I don't know, envelope or bag to hold the insert. And then there's another one at this end. And so when you put the insert in there, you have a whole area in the middle where baby pees and poops. And at the ends, it's up against this baby's skin. So this part is up against baby's skin, and this is the fabric side of the PUL. And then obviously the insert is up against baby's skin. Also notice that my elastic casings, I keep going off the camera, sorry. My elastic casings are the fabric side of the PUL. The shiny side of the PUL is covered by the insert. This is a fleece and microfiber insert. I prefer the cotton inserts with a fleece liner, but that's just me. Same thing up here. This is actually the fabric side of the PUL, and this is what goes up against baby's stomach, because this is the front of the diaper. It's nice and it's soft and it does not absorb. So the fluid that gets peed either onto the middle of the diaper if it's a girl, or right here if it's a boy. He pees right there. it actually absorbs up into the little pocket of PUL here. And this part stays dry on baby's belly. That's why I love these inserts so much. Maybe I should do a separate video on just that, because this one's going to get lost. But anyway, this is what we're making. I have 2 more of these in order to complete my 7 diapers in 7 days challenge. So this is number 5, and these here are numbers 6 and 7. So what I've done is I've cut the 4 pieces of PUL, but 2 of those have to have that circle cut out of them to make those flaps at the front and the back, as well as the elastic casing, so that there's fabric up against baby skin and not polyurethane laminate, which is what PUL stands for. So I actually drew this shape myself for a newborn diaper. Let me get my tape measure real quick. For a newborn diaper, you really only need, let's see, there's 2 inches there. And I'm going to measure below the elastic, 1.5 inches there, so 2 inches total. So with the seam allowance, it's probably like 2.5. And that's exactly what I did. 2.5 from the edge at the top and 2.5 from the edge at the bottom. Now my 1 size diaper, let me grab it for you. I modified this one yesterday. This is a whole separate topic, modifying diaper patterns, but this one's actually 3.5 from that end and almost 3.5 from this end. So, you know, 3.5 inches for 1 size is fine, but for a newborn, I wouldn't go any more than 2.5 inches at each end. Now, for the elastic casings, you need, so there's about a 1/2 inch for seam allowance and then another 1/2 inch to case the elastic. And so you want to make sure that you're not too close to your stitching there. On this one, I went 1.25 inches in on either side, and I think that that's leaving me enough. Get up in there. Enough PUL to case the elastic and not be too close to the stitching. If you plan on cutting that back, by the way, I recommend doing it before you actually thread the elastic through, because threading the elastic through makes it bunch up like this. And so if you go ahead and trim that back before you put the elastic in, it'll be much easier for you. Alright, so I'm just going to lay this on top. I'm going to lay it with the fabric side up and the shiny side facing the paper. Where did my chalk go? So today I'm actually using chalk. My 10 diapers kind of did my marker in. This is Taylor's chalk. It's thin and has a nice edge, and you just, I don't know, draw. Probably a colored pencil would work too. I don't know how well colored pencil washes out though. You should do a test before you try it. Don't just take my word for it. I've never actually tried it. So I'm just drawing around that dark line that I made on my very ugly paper pattern. This is a Babyville pattern. The Babyville patterns are only half there. Let me show you. I'm going to pull out the large for you. This is the large. And notice there's only half a pattern there. Whereas the Opulent Monsters, there's a full-size pattern. So what I did was I took some scrap paper and I taped, so here's the Babyville pattern, and I taped some scrap paper to it. And I just folded it over and cut around it. So now it's complete, except it's really ugly, but we don't really care that much. Alright, let's do the other one. same thing. But like I said, I skipped day 6, so day 7 requires 2 diapers. Gotta complete my challenge. If I wasn't recording these, you better believe I would not have completed this challenge. But because I recorded and somebody said, hey, I'm following your challenge, I have to follow through. Thank you for forcing me to follow through with this. I probably would have given up. Nah, I got better things to do. And make diapers every single night at, what time is it? Like 11? I put some diapers in the wash and came down here to start sewing. Alright, so how I start that is let's grab the other one. I take the fabric, let me make sure I'm still in the view here. I take my fabric and I fold it on the line so that the lines match up on both sides, and I just kind of snip it. A very basic thing to do from like kindergarten. Just snip it so it makes a hole, and then I can stick my scissors in there and go around. So I'm literally just going to cut on that line all the way around so that there's a big gaping hole. Let me cut those out for you. All done. I had somebody ask me one time, pretty recently, what I do with the little circle that I cut out. Like, you know, the donut shop makes donut holes, or munchkins, as Dunkin' Donuts likes to call them. We have these two little, I don't know, they look like feet. Peanuts. We also have the pieces that go between the diapers, so where I cut out the spaces in between them. Truthfully, I've been throwing them away, but they would make really good mama cloth liners. It would make pretty good underwear liners. I don't know. There's a lot of different things that you could do with them, but I've been throwing them away because I like to make things with large pieces of PUL, and so I throw those away. Alright. I have these two ready. So the PUL is completely cut out. Next, we're going to grab our pretty. In the very first video, I designated all these fabrics, and I, in 7 days, have stuck to exactly those, stuck to exactly those same fabrics. So what we have left is Mr. Link here, but Mr. Link is not quite big enough to make a whole diaper, so we're going to use the green to make some tabs. I think we're going to do tabs in the green. And then we have this teal color, aqua color. So this is going to be a solid piece, and then this one will be pieced. The pieced one always takes longer, so let's start with it. Set that aside, set our PUL aside. Find out what we've got here. Now we want him to be upright, or face up on the bum. So it looks like we're gonna have to turn it around. Let's see, will it fit here? No, see, it doesn't even fit side to side. So I have to have tabs made out of some other fabric, whether it be this or not. So what we'll do, make a line. Let's see, what will that look like on the bum? I like to make sure that it looks good on the bum. I'm literally just drawing a line on the one piece of the PUL. I'm going to fold it in half so that I get it. I want to get that same line exactly on the other side. So fold it so it's nice and even, and transfer that line to the other side. There we go. So that gives me an idea what that's going to look like. Oh, how come nobody told me? He's upside down. He has to be right side up. It's okay. Let's... I want him to be right side up on both sides, so I have to piece it in the crotch as well. Just fine. Looks good. Alright. Let's get the top. Oh no, let's just put him. Right like that. And we'll draw around him. I might have to use a white chalk. I bought this on Amazon. It's just called Taylor's chalk. So it comes with white and yellow, red, and blue. Let's use yellow because there's not much yellow on this print here. That's good. Cut this. See here. Piecing things is always a bit of a challenge. Y'all are laughing at me now. You're like, you just drew this line, and now you didn't even cut on it. Alright, and the reason being is I remembered that I have basting spray that I want to use because it's amazing. So let's just not even worry about cutting too close to the fabric. Okay, I'm going to lay this out for you just so you can see it. This guy is right side up. This guy is upside down. They're facing each other, okay? So they're looking down on one another. And then I'm just going to grab this and flip it up. So now they have right sides together, and they are both face up. Make sense? I'm going to sew along this edge, and then I'm going to top stitch along this edge. Give me just a second. Alright, now the two pieces are sewn together. Let me just get a little bit closer for you. They're facing one another, and there's a top stitch down the line. Alright. We're going to skip to the next video where I'm going to cut this out.